For me, this space is precisely what allows a dialogue to take place. And in the case of this entity that is called Mwangi Hutter, which is one artist, at the same time it's like a two-headed beast. I'm using beast in the best sense of it, of course. So this dialogue is not only, and this is one of the main preoccupation of those two human beings, is not only an interhuman dialogue, it's also a dialogue with the nature, a dialogue with what surrounds us, a dialogue with the visible and the invisible.
So these are, let's say, performance-based paintings, which we did together, and it's always a very dynamic process when we start filling the empty canvas.
And we call it maybe dripping and melting technique, so it actually embodies our topic of contrasts that merge and come together to form one.
Yeah, and it's obvious the black and the white body trying to, how do you say, to merge, becoming one.
Through a very intimate act of being in love, and yes, love being a very combining force. So being born in these two parts of the world is crucial, I think, to being Mwangi Hutter, and is the genesis actually of becoming Mwangi Hutter. And in the early works we deal a lot with racism, injustice, violence in all different forms, historical, religious, political, domestic, and also the propagation of violence in the media. These are some of the works you can see from the early phase.
So the piece I wanted to talk about is this image that is entitled Hitler and His Admirers. And here the artist, Ingrid Mwangi, that we can see there, is playing with one of her halves, because she's half Kenyan and half German. And she used an image, a classic image that was on a magazine, and the one who's performing Hitler is Robert Hutter. So what is interesting for me in this image is the way the gaze is changed by the only fact that Ingrid becomes Hitler's admirer. So we're like in something very surrealistic, and without saying anything, it tells a lot. Because even if she's performing according to an image that was existing, we can see the different faces she takes. Here, one could say, it's incredible, I don't believe it. Here, like, really? And of course, there, and this contrast is just as if Ingrid would have been a Jewish woman and would have done that. It's a kind of metaphorical of how dictatorship works and how admirers function at times, and especially in our communication times. At times people don't know what they're admiring. They admire something, they admire a star or whatever, but they don't really know. They just admire people because they're told to admire people. So this image is just there to force people to think about who they are admiring.
these are two examples of work that we do with veiling. So we work with the body, but in its all different aspects, with the skin, with the hair, and in some works we prefer to veil the body, and in video or in sculpture, and actually you could say bring it to its essential form of a human being.
And in this video work, it's a two-channel video work. It's called Act of Leaving the Body. It circles around the idea and the dream of you have lived your life together as a couple, and at the end you want also to leave your body together. And yeah, as you can see, the one body is already in a kind of a very static, non-moving situation, and the other one is not yet completely veiled, but the veil somehow magically covers by itself slowly the body.